The cafe was already alive. The low hum of clinking cups and early morning chatter filled the air. When Grace stepped in, her apron was clean, fresh, smelling faintly of cinnamon and bleach. She wore her natural afro like a crown, soft, coiled, untouched. She didn't bother taming it. She didn't need to. She weaved through the tables like someone who'd done it 1,000 times, because she had. It was her fourth morning shift this week. Her eyes were tired, but her smile still had fight. She greeted customers with warmth, took orders with care, and even laughed when an elderly man made a pun about croissants and croissants. That was the kind of morning it was, until it wasn't. A woman came in, just past 9, slim, well-dressed, sunglasses still on despite the indoor lighting. She strutted to the counter and gave Grace a look. One of those long, disapproving stares meant to peel you down to nothing. Grace, unfazed, smiled. "Good morning, ma'am. Would you like some coffee to start with?" The woman's lip curled. "Not if you're the one touching it." Grace blinked. "Pardon?" "I said, I don't want you touching my coffee." Louder now, loud enough to turn heads. Silence fell over the tables. "Did you comb that mop on your head this morning?" she sneered. "Or did you just roll out of bed?" Grace froze, pen and pad in hand, trembling. But she didn't reply. The woman kept going. "Honestly, they should make you cover that thing. Maybe with a real wig. Not that synthetic thing you people put on your heads. Oh wait, you probably couldn't afford it. Not with your paycheck." Her words sliced through the cafe like cold wind. Customers looked up, some confused, some angry. A man shifted uncomfortably in his seat. A woman whispered, "Did she really just say that?" Grace turned away, choosing silence. But the woman wasn't done. She turned to a customer beside her and laughed, loud and cruel. "Doesn't her hair look like a bird's nest?" she said, pointing at Grace's afro like it was some kind of joke on display. But the customer didn't laugh. Instead, they stood up and said firmly, "She's just doing her job. There's no need to be mean." The woman rolled her eyes. "Please, I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking." "I don't even know why they hire people like her," she spat. "I wouldn't let her touch me with a 10-foot pole. This is America, for God's sake. Go back to your country." That did it. Grace turned back. Her voice was steady, firm. "I was born here." The woman hissed, "Well, you sure don't belong." Just then, the manager rushed out, pale, mid-50s, startled by the tension. "What's going on?" "She was rude to me," the woman lied, hand over her heart. "She gave me attitude, refused to serve me." The manager's eyes darted between them. "Grace, please apologize." Grace's mouth fell open. "I didn't do anything wrong," she said, trembling. I'm asking you to apologize." Another barista, a young Latina named Marisol, stepped forward. "That's not fair. That's enough," the manager snapped. Grace looked at the floor, then at the woman. Still smug, still seated. Grace removed her apron, slowly, and laid it on the counter. "I won't apologize for existing." "You're fired," the manager said coldly. Grace gave a hollow nod, shoulders stiff, heart pounding. She turned and walked to the back. The smug woman leaned back, triumphant. "Now, someone who looks like me can serve me properly." The manager raised his hand. A white waitress rushed to the table. The woman smiled sweetly at her. "Black coffee and a bagel." The waitress returned with the order. The woman took a bite and began to cough. At first, just a stutter in her throat, then louder, violent. Her face turned red. She stood up, knocking over her cup. People gasped as she grabbed her throat, eyes wide with panic. "She's choking," someone shouted. "Call 911." No one moved, not even the manager. In the back, Grace had just picked up her purse. She heard the commotion, the panic, the chaos. She ran out and saw her. The woman doubled over, choking, gasping. Grace froze. She could walk away, let karma finish its work. But her conscience? She dropped her bag, ran forward, pushed through the crowd. "Move," she said. She stepped behind the woman. One thrust, two, three, and on the final push, a chunk of bagel shot from the woman's mouth. She collapsed into her seat, gasping for air. Her eyes filled with fear and shame. The cafe burst into applause. The manager looked stunned. "I'm sorry," the woman said to Grace. She said with shame written on her face. But Grace was already walking toward the door. The woman turned to the manager. "Everything I said were all lies. She never gave me attitude." "Grace, I was wrong. You can have your job back." But Grace shook her head. "I won't work where dignity comes second to tips." And she walked out, into the sunlight, unsure where she was going, but sure she was done, being silent. Outside, whilst catching her breath, she heard a voice. "I saw what happened." A man approached, gentle tone, kind eyes. "I'm sorry that happened to you." Grace nodded, tired, the weight of the world pressing down. "What you did in there was brave." But Grace wasn't listening. She was thinking about rent, 2 kids, no job, no plan. Maybe she'd made a mistake. Maybe she shouldn't have walked away. Maybe she should have swallowed her pride. The man spoke again. "So, waitressing, is it something you do on the side?" Grace shook her head. "I do some cleaning jobs too. I used to work in tech." She hesitated. "Back-end development, but it didn't fit my kid's schedule." The man smiled, handling her a card. "I run a tech firm. We're looking for flexible talent. If you're open, send me your resume." Grace stared at the card. Tears welled in her eyes. "Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I promise I'd be the first person you see tomorrow." The man smiled. "Sometimes justice isn't loud. Sometimes it's walking away, head held high, and sometimes it walks right back to meet you." Thanks for listening to this story. If it moved you, inspired you, or made you think, don't forget to subscribe to L Tales, your home for unforgettable stories.